All right, let's jump right into this explainer and unpack the absolutely shocking twists of Chapter 2. We're looking at a story where literally every character thinks they are the one pulling the strings, but the truth? Well, it's far more sinister. We're going to break down the exact anatomy of this deadly marriage of convenience, analyzing the hidden motives, the unique magic systems, and the cold-blooded calculations that make this narrative so gripping.
To her, he was her shield. To him, she was his sword, a partnership soaked in blood and lies. That quote perfectly captures the dramatic irony of this entire chapter. See, Lady Inquisitor Sarah McVale actually thinks she's found the perfect pawn. She's a 20-year-old prodigy desperately trying to avoid a forced marriage to the King of Varix, a marriage orchestrated by her own Prime Minister father. So she picks a seemingly nobody, an 18-year-old green recruit named Alexander Pope, to be her fake husband. To Sarah, Alex is just a shield, a temporary barrier she can pay 50,000 Varaxian notes a month to keep her independence. But the incredible irony here? Alexander is the true mastermind. To him, Sarah is his sword, and this union is steeped in a bloody history that she knows absolutely nothing about.
Okay, moving into Section 1, the perfect public lie, selling the romance.
Picture this. Sarah's fiercely protective friend and squad member, Janet, actually catches them practicing their first kiss. And Alex? He doesn't miss a beat. Outwardly, he plays the totally smitten, indignant lover, claiming he just couldn't control himself upon seeing her again. But internally, it's pure, cold-blooded calculation. He knows that playing the incredibly defensive partner is absolutely vital to the success of his true mission. It's a brilliant juggling act of dual identities.
He and Sarah effortlessly construct this massive three-step cover story to explain away a sudden marriage to the Prime Minister's daughter. Honestly, it's an audacious lie. They claim they met when she visited his orphanage 4 years ago, built a secret romance through letters, and then, were simply overcome by passion when they bumped into each other tonight. He banks entirely on sheer audacity to sell this lie to everyone, from Janet all the way to the completely stunned reverend at the cathedral.
Which brings us to Section 2, the healer-anodyne class divide. So to really get why this fake marriage is such a scandal, you have to understand Varix society. When you're born, you fall into one of three categories. You're either a healer, who magically heals their mother upon birth, a shadow walker, who kills their mother and is immediately executed, or an anodyne, who does neither and is basically deemed powerless. Sarah is a top-tier healer. Alex is registered as a powerless anodyne. A green anodyne marrying the highest-ranking healer in the country? That is completely unprecedented.
Now, Alex's friend Peter is absolutely frantic about this. He's pointing out the obvious dangers, warning Alex that healers hold literally all the high positions in Varix. Peter tells him this fake marriage will paint a massive target on his back and invite the wrath of the healer elites. But what Peter doesn't realize is that for Sarah, this massive controversy is exactly the point. It guarantees the king won't touch her. And for Alexander, well, he welcomes the scrutiny because he's hiding a secret that makes him far more dangerous.
And that takes us to Section 3. Alexander's hidden revenge agenda.
This is where things get really crazy. The private truth is, Alex is not some random street kid who got lucky. He actually spent his early years in unimaginable wealth. He is the son of the former Prime Minister of Varix, the man who held the exact same position Sarah's father holds today. But his entire reality was violently ripped away when his father was framed for treason and brutally assassinated.
Just think about the timeline of his life for a second. Over 8 years, a hunted child was forged into a completely patient, calculating assassin. At age 10, he watched inquisitors, including the chief inquisitor of Serax, Frank, slaughter his entire family. He then spent 7 years hiding in an orphanage, where he secretly realized he wasn't actually an anodyne at all. He's a rare surviving shadow walker who can kill with a simple touch. So at 18, what does he do? He infiltrates the very organization that ruined him.
Every single night, he recites this devastating list of his lost loved ones: his father, his mother, his 3 brothers, and Lydia, the maid who sacrificed herself so he could escape into the rain. It's this list that fuels his dark mission to execute the 10 officials responsible for the slaughter. In fact, right after his wedding to Sarah, he uses his Shadow Walker ability to covertly kill his very first target, Governor Frank. He does it with a simple, congratulatory handshake, making it look exactly like a delayed heart attack caused by a rare poison.
Let's look at Section 4, the ultimate alibi.
Trust me, Peter, the best place to hide is in plain sight. And who is a better alibi and protector than the Lady Inquisitor herself? That is just chillin', right?
Alex brushes off his friend's fears with this brilliant realization. Proximity to the ultimate law enforcement officer gives him the ultimate cover. When Governor Frank drops dead of a mysterious heart attack right outside the cathedral, who is going to suspect the innocent, powerless anodyne groom standing arm in arm with the Lady Inquisitor? He even plays the eager, naive assistant, asking innocent questions about poisons like Lily's glove to send Sarah's elite royal squad on a totally fabricated wild goose chase.
When you compare their true motives, it's wild. It is a partnership built entirely on mutual deception, where both of them fully believe they are using the other to survive. Sarah gets what she wants. She's publicly married, shielding her autonomy from the king. And Alexander achieves his ultimate goal. By joining her elite squad as her husband, he gains unlimited geographic freedom. Since Sarah investigates crimes all over Verax, Alex now has a totally legitimate, state-sponsored reason to travel directly to the doorsteps of his next targets, with the head of the police force acting as his unwitting bodyguard.
So will the brilliant Lady Inquisitor realize she just married an assassin before he finishes his kill list? It leaves us with this incredible high-stakes game of cat and mouse. You have Sarah, the best detective in the country, with a near 100% catch rate. But then you have Alexander, hiding in the absolute last place she would ever think to look, literally right beside her, holding her hand. The way these hidden agendas interlock is just masterful, setting the stage for a spectacular collision. So what do you think? Who's going to outsmart who first? Keep that in mind as we wrap up today's explainer.